You know, in the NFL, it's so easy to get caught up in the big, splashy moves, right? The blockbuster trades, the massive contracts. But sometimes the real stories, the ones that truly tell you where a franchise is heading, happen in the quiet moments. Today, here on NFL Nexus, we're digging into one of those quiet moves. A seemingly minor coaching change in Indianapolis that, when you look closer, tells a massive story about pressure, desperation, and a franchise that is absolutely on the brink.
So I know what you're thinking. An analyst, a little-known coach leaves the team. Why is that a huge deal? It's a totally fair question. This isn't a star quarterback or a hotshot coordinator. But the answer? Well, the answer is everything. It connects a quiet departure to a season of absolute desperation, and it reveals the immense pressure coming straight from the top in Indianapolis. This isn't just about losing one coach. It's about losing a critical support system in a year where there is absolutely zero room for error.
All right, so let's start with the catalyst for this whole story. It all kicked off on February 1st, 2026, with a little piece of news that probably just scrolled right by on your timeline. You know, it looked like just another name in the offseason coaching shuffle. Happens every year. But for the Colts, this was way more than just another change. This was a small crack appearing in the foundation at the absolute worst possible time.
Okay, so the man at the center of all this is Charlie Gelman. He was the Colts football analyst and game manager. And now, he's gone, poached by an AFC rival, the Baltimore Ravens. Look, I get it. You've probably never heard his name, and honestly, that's kind of the point. These roles are designed to be behind the scenes, but do not let that fool you. The job he did on game day for the Colts was, quietly but absolutely critical to their entire operation. And this wasn't some rumor from a team blogger. No, this was confirmed by the guy, Adam Schefter. When Schefter reports it, you know it's a done deal. But let's look even closer at this move. When a team is sharp, as well-run as the Baltimore Ravens goes out of their way to create a new position, game manage coordinator, just for this guy, that should tell you everything. That's a huge tell. It was a calculated move by a direct competitor, basically shouting to the rest of the league, yeah, this guy's brain, it's so valuable, we are literally inventing a title for him.
So what in the world is a game manager? Just for a second, picture the absolute chaos of an NFL sideline with 2 minutes left in a close game. The clock is screaming down, 70,000 people are losing their minds, and the head coach has a split second to make a decision that could win or lose the game. 4th and 1. Do you go for it? Do you punt? The game manager is supposed to be the calm in that storm. They're the voice in the headset, cutting through all that noise with pure, cold, hard data. They're feeding the coach the analytics, the probabilities, to help make the smartest call. That was Charlie Gelman's job. He was Shane Steichen's strategic safety net.
Look, losing a key advisor is never good. But for the Indianapolis Colts, the timing of this is just brutal. To really get why this one personnel move hurts so much, we have to zoom out and look at the whole picture in Indy. Because this isn't some stable team just cruising along. No, this is a team inside a pressure cooker. And the heat has already been turned all the way up.
This number right here, it basically says it all. 25 wins, 26 losses. That is Shane Steichen's record as head coach of the Colts after 3 seasons. In today's NFL, that is the literal definition of being stuck in neutral. Just mediocrity. You're not good enough to make the playoffs, but you're not bad enough to get a franchise-changing player in the draft. And for a coach who was brought in as this offensive genius, the guy who helped make Jalen Hurts an MVP candidate, this is a huge letdown.
And this really paints the full, bleak picture of that mediocrity. 3 seasons in charge, and what do they have to show for it? 0 trips to the playoffs. Not a single AFC South division title. Think about that. The Colts haven't even sniffed the postseason since 2020, which was before Steichen even got there. Now, you can blame injuries, you can blame the QB situation, and that's fair. But at the end of the day, this is a results-based business, and the bottom line is that the coach hired to be the offensive savior has not been able to get this team over the hump. And here it is. This is the smoking gun. This isn't just me speculating. This isn't angry fans calling into a radio show. This is a direct public statement from the owner, Carly Ursay-Gordon. She put both her general manager, Chris Ballard, and her head coach, Shane Steichen, on blast for the entire league to see. Let me translate that corporate speak for you. When an owner says the sense of urgency has never been higher, what they really mean is win games this year or you're fired. It's an ultimatum. The hot seat isn't just warm, it is scorching hot.
Now, to really feel the weight of that ultimatum, we've got to rewind to the 2025 season. Because what happened in Indianapolis last year wasn't just a regular bad season. No, it was one of the most bizarre, desperate, and just
unbelievable situations I think any of us have seen from an NFL team in a long, long time. And that's the context you need to understand why things are so tense right now.
Yeah, this was not your typical 7-10 season where a few plays didn't go your way. This was a complete circus. A year defined by a move so out there, so wild, that national media literally called it the single craziest happening of the season. And it was all born from pure desperation after their starting quarterback, Daniel Jones, went down with a season-ending injury, basically blowing up their entire game plan for the year.
And here's the crazy part. This is something out of a movie script. With their season completely falling apart, the Colts got on the phone and called Philip Rivers, a 44-year-old grandfather who had been retired for 5 years coaching high school football in Alabama. After 1,800 days away from the league, they talked him into coming back to try and save their season. I mean, just let that sink in. The man they were counting on last played for them back in 2020. It's just unbelievable.
And you want to know the wildest thing about this whole saga? He actually played pretty well. I mean, this wasn't some embarrassing publicity stunt where he couldn't complete a pass. He played legitimate, respectable football. Now, they lost all 3 games he started, but look at those numbers. A 63% completion rate, 4 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. That's way better than anyone could have possibly expected. It proves this was a real, legitimate, desperate attempt to win, and it shows you just how far the front office was willing to go to stop the bleeding.
Okay, so let's put all the pieces together now. You've got the completely bizarre 2025 season, right? The desperation that led to the whole Philip Rivers experiment. Then, that chaos leads directly to a public win now or you're gone mandate from the owner. And now, right as this make-or-break season is about to start, they lose their quiet, strategic guy on the sideline. This is where it all connects. This is why losing a game manager is such a massive blow for this team at this exact moment. When you lay it out like this, step by step, the story becomes so clear. It's a domino effect. The failure of 2025 directly created the unbearable pressure of 2026. And now, the 2 guys whose jobs are on the line, Steichen and Ballard, are operating under that pressure with one of their most important tools stripped away. The very person who was supposed to help them stay calm and make smart, data-driven decisions in the heat of the moment, well, he's gone, and he's working for a rival. And that, right there, is the bottom line. For a stable team in a normal season, losing an analyst is a bump in the road. You can handle it. But this is not a normal season in Indianapolis. This is a do-or-die year. Every single decision, every play call, every timeout is going to be put under a microscope. So in a season where you have 0 margin for error, losing any kind of strategic edge, no matter how small it might seem, is a huge, potentially fatal setback.
So that's the big question we're left with, isn't it? Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard are walking into a season that's going to define their entire careers in Indianapolis. They've got a direct order from the top to win, and they're trying to do it in the wake of a historically weird season. And now they have to do it all without a key voice in the war room, a guy who helped them navigate the most stressful parts of the game. It's a small move that creates a giant question mark hanging over the future of the entire Colts franchise. So what do you guys think? Can they survive this pressure cooker? Let me know down in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button for NFL Nexus and give this video a like. It really, really helps us out. We're committed to bringing you the stories behind the headlines just like this one. Oh, and one last thing. You can also support the channel by checking out our coloring books. They're actually really cool, perfect for kids, grandkids, or even for yourself if you just need to relax. You can find the link down in the description or just scan the QR code on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.